Hey guys, welcome to my kitchen. It's indeed a pleasure to see you guys again. However, today I'll be cooking ackee and saltfish with fried dumplings for breakfast, so please stay tuned. I'll be right back. Thanks for tuning in. Here I have some lovely sets of ackees that I've picked from my tree that I've cleaned up, and I'm going to cook it along with my saltfish, but I'm gonna put this aside until I'm ready. Here I have quarter pound of saltfish that I put to soak for an hour. Next I'll be adding it to the pot of boiling water to cook for the next half an hour. Guys, just a reminder, before you cook your saltfish, just ensure that you soak it in water just to get rid of the extra salt before you go ahead and cook it. After allowing my saltfish to cook for 15 minutes, I'm gonna go ahead and add my ackee to it, and it will cook for the next 15 minutes. So in total, the ackee and saltfish should cook for half an hour. Guys, bear in mind that some ackee take longer to cook than some, so it depends on where you get the ackee from. However, this ackee comes from my tree, so it won't take long to cook. Bear in mind, do not add any salt to the pot. The saltfish already has salt on it. Guys, check this out. My pot have bubble. You like that? Look at that, my ackee and saltfish cooking. What a nice view for me, eh? Next, I'm going to cut up some seasoning. I won't be doing too much seasoning, just half onion, 1 Scotchman pepper, 2 cloves of garlic, and 2 stalks of scallion with half of bell pepper, or we call it sweet pepper here. I don't know if you guys know this, but I did not take the seeds from my Scotchman pepper because I like to have like a kick to my ackee and saltfish, but you can remove yours if you want to. Next, I'm going to light the stove and allow the skillet to get preheat, and then I'll be adding some oil, and I'll be using vegetable oil, and I won't be using as much based on the fact that the ackee itself is also oily, so I'll be just using just a certain amount. Bear in mind, my skillet is on low heat because I don't want my oil to get too hot before I add this seasoning to it, because I don't want the seasoning to be burned before it's cooked. Next, I'll be adding the seasoning to the skillet of hot oil and just toss it for a few seconds just to allow it from sticking. As you can see, Guys, I will be allowing my seasoning to cook up for at least 2 minutes, the max, before I go ahead and add my saltfish to it. I'm just gonna go in and stir for a few more seconds just to avoid anything from sticking to the skillet. Guys, if you should smell what I'm smelling, the aroma of the seasoning frying up in the skillet, it smells so good. If you could smell what I'm smelling. The saltfish is picked up already and ready to add to the seasoning in the skillet. Next, I'll be adding my pickled saltfish to the seasoning in the skillet and toss it for a few seconds just to ensure that everything comes by thoroughly. Guys, you need to smell what I'm smelling. I'm not exaggerating, but it smells so good. Trust me. The aroma, the saltfish with the seasoning, it just makes my mouth run water. Believe me. Next, I'll be adding a pinch of black pepper just for flavor. Then I'm going to give it a toss just to ensure that all the seasoning along with the saltfish is combined thoroughly. Excuse me for a second, the black pepper, as it seems I did inhale it, so it made me sneeze. Next, I'm adding the ackee to the skillet. I'm just ensuring that all the ackee come out the container. Then I'm going to use my spoon to stir, just to ensure that I mixed everything thoroughly, as I mean the saltfish with the seasoning along with the ackee. I want to make sure that everything is balanced, if you understand what I mean. The ackee and saltfish is almost complete. I'm just gonna give it a few more minutes on the stove on a low heat and let it simmer before I turn the flame off. Guys, it's almost complete, but I'm telling you, I'm so ready to dive into this ackee right now because I'm starved and it smells so good. Guys, check this out. What a lovely view from where I'm standing. Can you imagine? Do you like what you see? Let me know. Hit me up. Next, I'll be making some fried dumplings. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to sieve a cup and a half of flour. Now the reason why I'm gonna sieve the flour is to avoid any form of lumps. So the best way to do it is just to sieve your flour to avoid lumps. Next I'll be adding half teaspoon salt, then 2 teaspoons of baking powder, next I will be adding 3 tablespoons of granulated sugar, white sugar that is. After adding all my dry ingredients, I'm just gonna stir just to ensure that everything combines thoroughly. Next to the bowl I have 1 cup of milk that I'll be added to the bowl with the flour to mix to make the dough. You can use water if you choose to, but I'm using milk instead. My dough is complete. I'm just gonna allow it to sit for a couple of minutes before I begin to fry my dumplings. Next I'll be adding some vegetable oil to my Dutch pot. Now remember that when you're adding oil, you don't want to be stingy when you're adding oil. You have to add a good amount of oil in order for the dumplings to fry properly. Just a reminder to keep your flame on low heat because you're frying dumplings. You don't want it to be burned before it's properly soaked. So just keep it on low heat and that way you'll get a better result. My dumplings are complete. As you can see, just check out this bowl of fried dumplings, guys. So nice and delicious. Guys, it's been a pleasure to share with you what I do in my kitchen. So please remember to like, share, as well as subscribe and leave a comment and hit that notification bell and let it remain on all. That way you'll be notified when there's a next video available. Thank you for watching.